How awesome does a free flight to Mexico sound? Welcome back to First Gen Money, a YouTube channel for all things money and lifestyle from a first gen millennial's perspective. If you're interested in money topics, financial independence, and how you can build generational wealth, you're gonna wanna hit subscribe to get notified every time I put out a new YouTube video. In today's video, we're gonna talk about my simple approach for travel hacking using credit cards. But it's the lazy way, because when I first discovered travel hacking back in 2017, 2018, I don't remember exactly when, I was intimidated because everything was like, keep a spreadsheet of where your miles are on what credit card, make sure that you're tracking everything and optimizing every credit card that you have for the most points. And I was like, that sounds like a lot of work. And I simply just couldn't keep track of doing all of that, and I didn't want to. But it's not that complicated. It doesn't have to be that difficult, and it doesn't have to involve spreadsheets and spreadsheets of you tracking your credit card usage for optimizing on miles and points. At least not yet. What is travel hacking and how do we get started? Before I go into the specifics of what it is, before you start trying to travel hack using credit cards, you need to understand the statistics around what using a credit card could mean to the regular consumer. Travel hacking and using credit cards to get rewards for your travel is not for everybody, at least not at every stage of their journey. Because we know that when we use credit cards, we are more likely to overspend than if we use cash or our debit cards. In a study by Dun and Bradstreet, they found that people spend 12 to 18% more when using credit cards instead of cash. Another study by the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston found that the average cash transaction was around $22 compared to the $112 that people on average spent when using their credit cards, which is a 400% jump. So that tells us that obviously people are spending more when they're swiping with their credit cards versus paying cash or not using their credit cards. So this is important to know, because when we travel hack and when we travel hack using credit cards, we want to make sure that we're not putting ourselves in a not so good financial situation. Before you start travel hacking and opening up credit cards for the sign-up bonuses, make sure that you are doing the following. Number one, paying off your credit cards in full every month, not carrying a balance. Number two, you do not currently have credit card debt, because if you do, pay off that credit card debt first, and then make sure that you've gotten your spending to a place where you don't get yourself into more credit card debt and just repeat the cycle. We don't want that for you. And number three, make sure that you can meet the spending requirements of sign-up bonus without compromising your ability to pay off your credit card in full at the end of the month, and two, without carrying a credit card balance. So once you've gotten all those three under control, once you realize like, okay, I can be somebody who uses credit cards and doesn't overspend and pays my bills in full at the end of the month, then you can consider travel hacking with credit cards. So now we can get into what is travel hacking using credit cards. I recently shared on Instagram that our flight to Mexico to Oaxaca was 100% free 99. Like, we didn't pay anything because of all the points that I had on two credit cards that I used. So Delta Amex credit card and my Capital One credit card. Because I optimized for points on those two cards, we were able to fly for free, $0 to get here. So you don't need to be a expert spreadsheeter of your points in order to be able to unlock free flights, unlock Airbnb stays. You can literally just take advantage of a few of the simple ways that I credit card hack. When I'm talking about travel hacking with credit cards, this is taking advantage of credit card sign-up bonuses to cover your travel expenses. You might be asking yourself, why do credit cards give us amazing sign-up bonuses that will allow us to cover for future trips? Well, the reason is they're competing with each other to get new customers, you being one of those customers. So when we see a sign-up bonus from Chase and then we see one from Capital One and one is more attractive than the other, we're more likely to be like, okay, I'm gonna convert into a Chase Sapphire user versus a Capital One Venture card user. So they're competing with each other to get your business. But we hack it because we end up paying off the credit card in full every time. And so we don't become a user that actually has revolving credit. That's why you see a lot of nice sign-up bonuses maybe happening around the same time. Right now, there are 3 credit cards that I use a lot that have different sign-up bonuses. So let me just kind of walk you through what I'm seeing right now in terms of what's available for sign-up bonuses. So the first card, my most kind of used card, is the Chase Sapphire Preferred. This one is right now offering 100 bonus points if you spend $4,000 on purchases in the first 3 months. So this is what I mean when earlier I said, make sure you can meet the spending requirement. So here, in order to unlock the 100K bonus points, you need to have spent $4,000 on purchases in the first 3 months of opening this account. You don't meet that spending requirement, you don't get this bonus. Card number 2 is the Capital One Venture card. Here we have a 60K bonus when you sign up and spend $3,000 within the first 3 months. Card number 3 that I've recently used is the Delta American Express Gold card. And here you earn 70,000 bonus miles after you spend $2,000 on purchases in the first 3 months of your card opening. All these 3 cards that I just mentioned, and there's so many more cards, but you can see that their bonus points are different and their spending requirements also vary. So now let's get into how I travel hack using credit cards. The first thing I do, what sign-up bonuses are available right now? Is there one that fills a specific need that I have? What are the features of these credit cards? So I know that if I open a Delta American Express Gold card, I'm only going to be using that for Delta flights. Sure, I can transfer the points to another of their partner airlines, but I'm probably gonna just use it for the Delta flights. Do I have an upcoming trip where it's domestic or in a place that Delta flies to that I could benefit from this? If no, maybe that's not the card for me right now. If I know that I have an upcoming trip that requires an Airbnb stay, then I'm gonna wanna look at the credit cards and see which one allows me to erase a purchase or cover a purchase that's related to travel. The cards that I have a purchase eraser or just like let you pay yourself for a purchase that you've already made are the Chase Sapphire and the Capital One Venture card. Double check on what it is that you want to get covered before you make a decision on which card to open up. Because if you are a loyal United flyer and you never travel Delta or there's no Delta in your airport hub, then does the Delta American Express card make sense for you? Ask yourself, what need do I have and which of these sign-up bonuses will help me fulfill that need? Second thing I do, plan around your large expenses. Don't just open a credit card, then have to come up with how you're going to spend $3,000 in 3 months. Then you could be overspending and spending money that you don't want to be spending. Anytime I'm looking at sign-up bonuses, I think about, does it make sense right now in my life to get this sign-up bonus or sign up for this credit card when I know I have no big expense coming up in the next 3 months? If I know I want to buy a laptop or a coach or buy a program that's going to cost thousands of dollars and I've prepared for that already for that expense, then I'm going to plan to use a sign-up bonus when I make that purchase so that I'm taking advantage of the sign-up bonus and fulfilling that spending requirement at the same time. When I opened my first credit card related to travel hacking, I knew that I was going to be purchasing a refrigerator for my family, and I was like, well, let me see how I can make this refrigerator purchase work for me as well. And so I decided to open the Chase Sapphire card when I knew that this purchase was coming up because I knew I was going to pay for this. Like I knew I had the money in my sinking fund. I just didn't want to use my debit card to make the purchase if I could use my credit cards and get the points along the way. More recently, when I signed up for my CFP course, I used my credit card to make that purchase because I knew I was getting a scholarship to reimburse me for that expense. So I was like, okay, well, let me make this purchase with a credit card and wait for that scholarship refund to pay off that credit card because I know it's coming anyway. So those are just like some examples of what I've done in the past. Another way, if you know that you're just not gonna have that $3,000 in those 3 months, but you know other people that might have big expenses coming up, then say, hey, can you use my credit card and you just give me the cash for that? Like there have been many times when I'm like, oh, put it on my credit card so I can get the points for it because you're just gonna use your debit card anyway. Of course, course, whenever possible, let the people in your life know that you're travel hacking so they can also take advantage of what you're taking advantage of, if they are meeting the requirements that we discussed earlier in terms of using credit cards. More recently, my sister was paying for her college tuition and it was like $6,000. You know, it's my card, but she's an authorized user too. I was like, let's put it on the Chase Sapphire, see if there are any additional fees. We ended up not putting it on the credit card because there was a fee for using a credit card as opposed to using a debit card. So be sure that if you are gonna use a credit card, you don't get charged a fee. And if you do, does that fee kind of make up for what you're gonna receive in return? Because it might be worth it, but it might not. And always ask for ways that you can use your credit card instead of your debit card. Like when we lived in Brooklyn, we were able to pay our rent using a credit card and not just our debit card, but again, additional fee when you use your credit card. So just like ask around, see if there are ways for you to, instead of using your debit card for a purchase, use your credit card instead. And number 3, once you make that purchase, once you get that spending requirement, pay off that credit card. Like I said before, always time your large purchases with the sign up bonuses, because most of the time you are already saving up for those large purchases. Ideally, you have a sinking fund with that amount of that purchase that you wanted to make. Paying off that credit card in full is no problem because it's already sitting in a sinking fund, and all you have to do is transfer that into your bank account and pay off that credit card. Do not let the balance roll over, because most of the time these credit cards have a high APR. You don't want to be paying 22% on the charges that you've made. So be sure that you can pay off that credit card in full at the end of the month. Number 4, the last step is just repeating this. And of course, at some point you're gonna not be able to sign up. Like right now, Chase Sapphire has a great sign up bonus, but I have a Chase Sapphire. I can't go and sign up for a Chase Sapphire because I have that credit card. So at some point, you're not gonna be able to take advantage of the sign up bonuses because you already have those cards. If you have a partner or somebody that you're close to in your life who you can say, hey, take advantage of the sign up, let them know. For instance, I have asked Ari when I had a big purchase, I was like, there's this sign up bonuses, let's get points for this expense that I am going to make anyway. You sign up for the credit card, I'll give you the money, you make that purchase on your credit card, and let's get the bonuses here. And he opened up the venture card to get the bonus points, transferred them over to my venture card, and then downgraded to a regular card that doesn't have the annual fee, because most of them, if they're offering some kind of rewards, will have an annual fee. It's typically around $95. Be aware of that. I only use the credit cards when it comes time to taking advantage of these sign-up bonuses. I keep it simple like that. I do most of my spending through my credit card, so if I continue to get points that way, great. But I'm really optimizing the sign-up bonuses and nothing else, and that's kind of just how I keep it simple when it comes to my travel hacking credit card strategy. I just take advantage of the sign-up bonuses. Now, I know I can get more strategic about how to spend with this card and seeing where I am, but right now I'm okay just doing it this way. I've been able to get free flights. I mean, my flight for both of us, for both Ari and I, to Mexico was free. Our flight back home is gonna be free. Airbnb has been mostly covered because of what we've been able to do with sign-up bonuses. So if you're just trying to get started with travel hacking, see what sign-up bonuses are out there, see what makes sense for you for upcoming trips that you have. Get your toes wet in this travel hacking space. It doesn't need to be complicated. Make sure that you have your spending under control, because what you don't want to do is have a credit card that you are using for points, for travel rewards, and then paying crazy amount of interest on them. There's no point. It cancels itself. When you use and open a credit card because you want the points, but then aren't paying off your credit card in full, then you're not getting the benefits of that credit card. Be smart about it if you are opening a credit card. That was it. That is my simple strategy for travel hacking with credit cards. If you like this video, please consider hitting that like button. If you want to watch more videos around money, hit subscribe so you can get notified every time I put out a new video, and I will see you all next week.